women have a genetic predisposition to be biological caretakers of children. Femoids want to genetically take care of children, and when they can't, they become sociopathic child cat ladies, and they are depressed, and then they use that depression to attack everyone around them. And it's like, dude, oh my God.
So stupid.
Let's get to our homegrown gay fascists here.
And I wouldn't say that I have fully developed views on this, but to me, what it is sort of a value system to replace the fact that they're all fundamentally atheist or agnostic. They have no real value system. Their only value system is achieve.
You're a dupe. You're a dumbass. If you think that like religion, dude, I swear to God, this is some like primitive shit, dude. You're a fucking ape. If you literally are like, I have no values. I have no value system if it wasn't for Christianity. You're a baboon, okay? I'm sorry. Straight up. Like, I have no problem with religion, okay? You guys know this, you know? If you want to fucking practice whatever religion you want to practice, it's fine as long as you don't encroach on others' rights. The moment that I hear someone turn around and be like, you know, without religion, I would have no moral system, you're a fucking ape, dude. What do you mean? So, like, if religion didn't tell you that, like, rape is wrong, you would just be out there raping? It's akin to the same fucking idiots that say, oh, without the law, we would be doing crazy shit. It's like, that's the thing stopping you? I am now under threat around you, okay? When I hear someone say this, when I hear someone be like, oh, it's the law that's like stopping me from doing certain things, I'm like, you're a fucking weirdo, dog. When I hear someone going, it's religion that's giving me my moral values, my moral system, I'm like, that's weird, bro. You're a weird guy, okay? You would be a fucking sociopath without it, I guess. Well, you are a sociopath. We know that already. You have no care or consideration for your fellow man without like rules in a rule book. What the fuck do you mean? It is insane to me. It is insane to me that people in 2024 openly say things like this. For the record, this type of person would have had their skull bashed with a rock immediately during primitive accumulation. Okay, they'd be like, oh, this guy's bad news, bro. We have to deal with him. They would literally get together. The village would get together and be like, we have to fucking kill this person with whatever blunt object we can find because he is literally trying to go around and fucking rape people. Like, straight up. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, get the highest fucking rock that we can get to and dump him off that rock immediately. Head down.
In a very conventional way. And so the idea that somehow they're pursuing racial or gender equity is like the value system that gives their life meaning. Well, of course, they all find that value system leads to misery.
What would you say about previous ages in Europe where rating and rating were the norm for certain nations? Yeah, I would say that we now have religion, and that still hasn't really changed. It's just that, like, we've softened that approach, and you don't get to see it that much. You know, since we're talking about the most moral nation on the planet earlier, they made one of their concentration camp prison guards who was detained for into a television star overnight, with 60% of society saying he should not be prosecuted for raping a Palestinian to death at all. People have done rapes without religion. People have done rapes with religion. It doesn't really matter, okay?
Leads to unhappiness. And so I think that what happens is, like, whenever you really pursue something, right? Like, let's say a doctor gives you a medicine to cure a disease and it doesn't work, right? The patient gets worse. Well, you can conclude one of two things. Either the medicine isn't working or the patient was...
Bro said the fucking Holy Crusades, when they were happening, no rape and raiding was happening. No rape and pillaging was happening during the Holy Crusades, you know.
Was so sick that what they need is even more. Whenever you really pursue something, right? Like, let's say a doctor gives you a medicine to cure a disease and it doesn't work, right? The patient gets worse. Well, you can conclude one of two things. Either the medicine isn't working or the patient was so sick that what they need is even more of the medicine that you originally prescribed. And I think the gender inequity stuff is like, we need more of the medicine. Okay, clearly this value set has made me a miserable person who can't have kids because I already, passed the biological period when it was possible.
I think automatically being around JD Vance makes one a miserable person. So he's thinking like, all the women around me are miserable. It must be because of society and not because I keep talking about how modernity has caused women to be depressed because they can't have children after a biological age. No, dude, it's you, bro. You're doing it. You're poison for the vibes, okay? Demonstrated by the fact that the people that like you the least in this fucking country are people from the place that you are the senator of, okay? Your approval ratings are one of the few ways that we can actually scientifically look at how your vibes are, okay? As close to an objective analysis that we can get is your approval rating. It has never been popular. It has never been above board. You have been underwater, and the more people hear from you, the more they hate you.
And I live in a 1,200 square foot apartment in New York, and I pay $5,000 a month for it. But I'm really better than these other people. What I'm gonna do is project my like racial and gender sensitivities on the rest of them. And like the reason that our society is broken is because these people don't think.
Great argument, man. Nerdy and also boring and also shitty. When you don't even have the charisma, at least Tucker Carlson is like capable of like crafting an argument that the dumbest person can follow along with. JD Vance doesn't have that either. So he like turns around and makes like the classic reactionary argument for the absolute worst people in society, just like the most boring and annoying motherfuckers out there, basically cutting into something that most people would likely, with a charismatic orator, could at least follow along. You are looking at constructs, okay, that are inherently oppressive, that we take for granted in society. Patriarchy. It is the easiest thing to do. Being a misogynist is so fucking easy, dude. It's so easy. I sometimes do it without even recognizing it, okay? It's easier than serving the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. That's how easy it is. How do you fuck up being misogynistic? Like how? How do you negatively polarize people in a patriarchal society to fucking hate misogyny? That's how bad your fucking vibes are, dude. That's crazy, okay? That's crazy to me. Women have a genetic predisposition to be biological caretakers of children. Femoids want to genetically take care of children, and when they can't, they become sociopathic child cat ladies, and they are depressed, and then they use that depression to attack everyone around them. And it's like, dude, oh my God. Oh my fucking God. Why did you do this? Why did you explain? Like, how did you turn something that is so easy to fucking craft a narrative strategy around into something that is so unappealing that you are literally, in an Elon Musk style fashion, causing people to negatively polarize against misogyny, which is good ultimately. So congratulations. It doesn't make sense. It actually doesn't make sense at all. Like, all you need to do is just be like, look around, you know? Republicans used to do this very well. They would be like, it's common sense. It's common sense. It's common sense. They would take advantage of the existing, they would take advantage of the pre-existing cultural things that we have adopted as norm, okay? As the norm. Do you understand what's easy about being a misogynist? What do you mean just lean into? What are the Pokemon on your shirt? Is a car. Their cars fucking each other. What's easy about being a misogynist is the easiest thing of all time. You just need, it requires zero fucking reading. It requires you to be the dumbest person possible. It requires zero reading. It requires you to just point to things that are existing in society, constructs that already exist in society that people take for granted. All you got to do is look around, be like, yeah, women are fucking upset. That's all you need to say. Women are upset because they have to work. This is Trump's VP. Dude has some real 4chan vibes. Yeah. He's doing too much of the weird European pro-natalist tradwife shit. Exactly. Is it too late to replace them? Nope. They're locked in, baby. I think.
Even though the way that I think has made me a miserable person, I just need to make more people think like that. So we're going to teach this in our schools, in our universities, even.
Like, they think this is a real, they think, and this is the problem, they think that there is like a secret strategy that is making people woke. And that's why their counter strategy fails, because their counter strategy turns everything into Twitter, and it causes people to unironically think that these like right-wing sentiments are more popular in the real world outside of fucking Twitter than they actually are. That is the problem, okay? The problem is these right-wing social constructs exist and are born out of the material conditions that people experience on a day-to-day basis, okay? So you can move the needle in the right-wing direction with culture without like trying too much, but you can't combat that, you know, woke movies or whatever. If that was the case, the most woke culture period was probably the Trump administration, where like liberals were so goddamn woke. They were so fucking woke. What happened? Did society become more woke magically because like all of our fucking movies were woke? No, you can't combat against material realities and the social constructs that are born out of material realities with more social constructs in the opposite direction. Having said that, simultaneously, most people do have that attitude, that communal attitude inside of them. They want to work with one another. They collaborate with one another. Unless you live in like a super segregated community, you are always going to be more open-minded. That's why urban areas end up going in the Democrat direction. That's why college-educated men and women end up voting in the Democrat direction. Not to say that the Democrats are fucking great. Obviously, they're not. But they are at least positioning themselves as more open-minded and more tolerant to diversity than the other side is. Because when you are around other people, you start to recognize that they are not these like weird deities, these demons in the shadows that you thought they were from your segregated enclave that you exist in.
In our elementary schools, because once everybody agrees with me, then everything will finally come full.
Like women didn't learn that like, oh, I have to work and I have to have like certain civil liberties. Like they wanted it. They fought for it. They got it. Okay. If you had talked to a single fucking woman that isn't like a psychotic rabid right winger, they would probably educate you on this matter. As a matter of fact, I know you have because you went to fucking Yale and you used to be woke. So I know you know this. You're just LARPing in the opposite direction. Nothing here is genuine, which I think also plays into him being a horrible communicator of these kinds of like right-wing ideologies, because he just like adopted it to win favor with the base as a careerist.
Full circle, and we'll have a happy, healthy society.
If we teach women that like, we taught women woke, okay? That's why they want to take birth control. That's why they want jobs. If we teach women unwoke, they won't want to do that. By the way, this attitude is no different than like thinking that, again, black people are somehow different, okay, from the rest of society, and that they've been taught that, desegregating society is good, and that's why they now have all of these problems, okay? Like it denies autonomy from the group that you are talking about, that they are just like easily duped, okay? That they do not want